ideal Evomax 100 twin boilers on a stand with a low loss header. My name's Alan Hart, and today I'm working with Dean from
MDB Gas.
MDB Gas. Dean's going to show us the ideal Evomax 100. He's also going to show us the low loss header, and we're going to have a look around the plant room. So what have you got here then, Dean?
So here are ideal Evomaxes, brilliant boilers. We fitted a lot of them back in the day. They've just brought a new version out. I've not got round to fitting them yet, for one reason or another. Really good boilers. So individual units again. They sit on a frame. So there's two frames which are linked via a low loss header again. This is manufacturer low loss header. This is actually comes from Ideal themselves. Again, this is basically a little tiny shunt pump, and it circulates from the boiler and literally puts it into the low loss header. That's pretty much all that does, just circulates from the boiler to the low loss header. Standard auto air vent, and then once it's in there, then it goes off again into the primary pumps, and then off to go.
So what's this blue thing then, Dean?
This is a auto top up, a pressurization unit. Again, in the commercial world, on a instead of somebody coming in with a filler loop, you have an automatic top up. These are very good because if you have a big burst somewhere, they censor it and it won't continue to go as a flood device, and etc. So yeah, automatic topping up system.
So rather than filling your system up like with an header tank or a filling loop, this does it automatically. But if there is a leak, it senses that, and it won't just let it flood.
Yeah, it'll go into a thing called flood alert and stuff like that.
And why has it got a tundish then on there?
Because again, if it pressurizes too much, it will then dump it again. So if it automatically fills up too much or fails, it'll dump it.
So what's this system then here, Dean?
This here on the floor is another style of an autofill pressurization unit. Automatically puts water back into the system. And the one behind it is a Coldwater Booster set. So here we've got a big tank of water, and it comes out of here, and it gets boosted off around the building.
What's that to increase the pressure?
That's to increase the pressure. The water main back in the day was probably not good enough. There was a number of reasons why it would have had that. There's no storage tanks up in the loft. Head pressure. On the back wall there, hot water return pumps. Only 2 of them are working. The other 2 are standby. The other 2 are standbys.
And what's this thing?
This is a blender mixing valve. So you have the cold water coming in and the hot water coming in, and then it will go out the top at a set temperature, usually around about 43 degrees. But this is coming out because one, it's leaking, but this controls the temperature throughout the building, and in modern times now, Legionella is absolutely massive. We are halfway through the home now, putting individual TMVs underneath the sinks. So when they're done, we will link this out, because as it stands now, there's only 43 degrees or whatever the set point is going around the building. Legionella, it's going to be 60 plus for bacteria reasons, etc. So that is coming out in the next 2 weeks.
So we're just in another plant room now, and Dean's going to explain to us what's happening here.
This is another hot water cylinder. It's but on this occasion you don't have circs or you don't have gas fired, anything like that. It has this is basically a plate to plate, and it's a circulator. So you've got your main pipe coming from your heat source from the boilers, and it comes down and then it comes into a plate to plate, which is just like you get on a combi but on a massive scale, and it comes in and then it comes back out again. But what happens is, instead of like on a normal combi the mains will go through, this now circulates. This pump takes it from the bottom of the cylinder, sends it back through, and then goes back in that way. But then what happens then is we now have this. This is quite an old style valve. It's a temperature valve. As soon as the cylinder is hot enough, it will close this and it will stop, and it'll divert the water then. So it diverts it back up. That is set. Not a bad system. It does heat up pretty well. And then again on the top here, you have your temperature and pressure relief valves again. And then you have a safety overheat that if it ever gets too hot, that'll trip and then it'll send the signal back.
And what's that actually called? What's that cylinder called? Is it a particular make or?
A lot of them like this used to be Manchester cylinders. That's the actual. There's a good chance that was the brand.
So does it just work just like what a normal house cylinder would work?
Exactly the same.
So what you've got is your normal coil in your house cylinder is
basically.
So has it still got the coil?
No.
So it's like a direct cylinder.
Yeah, it's a circulator. Back in the old days when you had a coal fire, and then you had a box, like a big copper box behind, and then you had a tank in your airing cupboard.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same as that.
But instead of having the fire, on one side, you've got that pipe.
You've got the pipe and stuff like that.
And it doesn't mix.
Yeah, it doesn't mix. If that was to fail, then yes, it would mix. So, but we do check these a lot to get tested, regular, etc., etc.
So what's this valve here then, Dean?
Temperature pressure relief valve. So if you look at the data badge, it will be set at a degrees, so what it will blow off on.
90 degrees.
90 degrees, and then if you look again, it will have a pressure.
7 bar, yeah.
So 7 bars, so whichever becomes greater, it'll dump it. Inside there is a small probe, and that's the one that takes the temperature. The pressure side is just on a normal spring, as you would do on a domestic side, but the probe does the temperature one. Quite bulletproof really, don't tend to go very often, but yeah, expensive if you do.
In the last video we was asked if we can have a look inside the control panel. So we've got the control panel here, and all I can say is this is 415 volts. So never ever look inside one of these. You need to have an electrician. But this is what it looks like inside. This is an old style one. If you have a look at that, they look like them old Bakelite stuff. So it looks quite old. You've got some relays there as well. So that's what it looks like. If we have a look on this, if we just look under these pumps here, and we can see this grey patch, this pipe was leaking, so it's been like repaired for now. So we've had a great day with Dean looking around plant rooms. I'd like to thank Dean so much. It's been amazing. I really enjoyed it, to be honest. It's nice to see something a bit different. I've not been in a plant room probably 20 odd years, to be honest. So yeah, it's nice to see
It's nice to see something a bit different. If you enjoy my videos, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever, and thanks for watching. Yeah, if you've got any questions, please ask them below. Thanks very much.